There are times I know it can be hard to get up and go. You can always count on those beside you. When you're far from home, it can be hard to go alone. Bring a friend. Oh, bring a friend. When you're on that road, you can share your heavy load. Every day can be a new adventure. When you're far from home, it can be scary to go alone. Bring a friend. Oh, bring a friend. Leave a to me question.
Welcome back, everyone. I forgot to turn down the background music, but there we go. Yeah, if this is your first time, and there are so many people spectating and in chat today, so just thank you everyone for coming. I might actually have a little trouble giving everyone shout outs, but Broseph especially, thank you for watching for the first time. I'm glad you enjoyed the intro. If there are more ads you haven't seen, they're all playing up in the corner throughout the stream, so you'll see them cycle through, just a little bit smaller. But yeah, good to see Law, Wolf, Loose, Bwills. Who else do we have here? Reshpin, Wolf, Hungry Wire, and your first time chatter. Thank you, Hungry. Let's see. A bunch of people that were outed as being here, perhaps idling because I gave away a few subs. As always, the lovely Golden Stylus, one of my favorite people. Zombie. And then Zach. I'm just scrolling through. So many people. So many people. That's amazing. Well, if it is your first time, the general format is I wait till about 5 minutes after the hour just to give everyone a chance to see the notifications, both on Twitch and in Discord, and get their butts in here. But then I'll be starting the episode. This week's episode of the League of Ultimate Questing Battle Axis is episode 84, Flowers, and it's good. It's a doozy. I was there for it, and I re-listened to it yesterday, and I cried. I'll be honest, I did. You're not required to, but there's some good stuff. And Pulverizing Plum, thank you for watching, first time chatting. Love that. And yeah, so I start the episode in about 2 minutes, and then stick around because afterwards I come back and do a little Q&A, just any questions you want to ask, or we can also just chat, but I'm always happy to interact with some great fans. Ooh, okay, Wolf says, question for the stream, what's your favorite flower? I like sunflowers and snapdragons. There are others that I like as well, but those are kind of classic Dana flowers. So that is what I'm going with. I'd love to hear all of your favorite flowers in the chat. And Chorus, first time chatter as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, snapdragons just have so much fun stuff going for them. Yeah, just like a lot of like fun little lore, flower lore. And then even when they dry out, they look super cool. Venus flytraps, that is a flex, and the water lilies, always lovely. I missed what Law said until reading back and seeing Wolf reference it. Tears or get the fuck out, Law says. Very funny. That's a great question, Wolf. I don't know what the technical definition of a flower is. But I accept Venus flytrap. I think that's totally fine. Audrey 2, I'm, conversely, I'm not sure Audrey 2 counts as a flower, because Audrey 2 is a space alien, and although plant-like, I'm not sure they are strictly a plant. Though, not necessarily my area of expertise either. So if anyone has opinions about Audrey 2, let's hear them in chat. In the meantime, it is 5 after, and even though this chat's bumping, and I would love to talk to y'all, I know you're all chomping at the bit for this episode, so let's get started.
Dear Penny. Get it? Dear? Sorry. I'm very nervous. I wrote this letter a billion times just to get it right. Anyway, my name's Fritza. I'm a Nixie from Aquilon. I think our plane is Yoda B-16C. At least, that's what it says on the transmitter. The LUQ hub doesn't reach into the Feywild, so I have to go through the reef into the human world to watch the fallow crown. I always have to pass through some of the murk to get there. It's super scary, but it's worth it. I was spying on some human girl in the shallows when she took out a scry crystal. That's when I first saw you. A true blue fae. Well, you're not blue, but I am. I had never seen anyone so beautiful. I was so jealous of your hooves, I strapped horseshoe crabs to my feet with some kelp and wore them for weeks. Now I sneak away every chance I get to go to the hub. I figured out how to look at the Fallow Crown's archives so I could see every quest you've ever done. I'm happy to keep making the trip, only I'm starting to get scared. The murk is bigger now, and things inside are getting angry. This'll sound strange coming from a fae, but I have dreams about it sometimes. The murk. I dream it's alive, that it's hunting me, that it'll keep growing until everything is murk. But whenever I get scared, I think of you. I think of how brave you are. I think of you standing up to those men with their refined redstone weapons and armor. I think of how strong you are, and I want to be strong too. So I'm going into the murk. I want to find what's in there, and I'm going to kill it. I'm going to be just like you. And one day when I'm strong enough, I'll join LUQ. I have to stop writing now. It's getting dark. Thank you for everything. Yours, always, Fritza.
A dim golden-purple twilight glow settles down on the amphitheater as Rhea takes you in with her moonlit eyes. You have come.
Was there a reality in which we did not?
Yes. Singulars often make choices well outside of our purview.
Usha furrows his eyebrows at hearing that. He doesn't say anything, but he finds a nice chunk of ruined masonry to sit on.
We have been led here one at a time by your siblings. And I'm sure you know why we're here. But if you don't, I'm happy to explain.
Yes. As I predicted, the Darkwood spreads. The war will reignite. And those people down there will be armed and trained, so that they might die in battle only to be born again, and repeat the endless cycle.
It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to spread. Not unless something's gone wrong. The war's supposed to stay contained. This isn't right.
You know something of this?
I kind of pulse my angelic features a little and say, my lineage is from the plane of war.
We did not meet when last I faced your fallow crown.
No, I was otherwise occupied.
You were at war.
Yes, I was.
I am Rhea, the flowing stream, goddess of the moon and sister to the one you call Penny.
One of Penny's sisters is a goddess?
Technically, we are all gods and goddesses, only lesser. Or in waiting.
We call her Pentecost.
Yes. Yet another change.
It's an honor to meet you, Rhea. I hope that there's some good we can do while we're here.
She looks to Yavos. She was foolish to come after you. Uneducated in the way of greater beings.
I would have warned her if I was able.
It is not your fault, counter to what everyone is likely telling you. You did as you must.
When I have no doubt that it was a choice Penny would have made in many incarnations. But the end result is still heartbreaking.
It's important that you understand that mortals have a tendency to want to obviate themselves of guilt and find a subject that they find more comfortable. Your friends blame you, but it is they themselves who share a good portion of the blame. They just haven't accepted that yet.
Wusha sort of sinks into himself and grumbles.
I see things as they were, and I see them as they are reflected upon me, like the faces of the moon. But I do not know what is to come. Only that you will enter the dark wood, find the creature that you allowed to steal my sister's soul, and destroy her.
Wusha is going to look at Iavos, moving his lips like he's desperately holding words back.
I'm just going to lean in real close so he can at least whisper to me.
We ain't about to destroy nothing about Pen. We're going to bring her back.
Can we do that? She's a plural, right? You can't destroy a plural.
She is but one manifestation of this plurality. To end her is to end something unique. Penny, as you knew her, Pentecost now, the greater being whose name I hold secret, is a creature of good. And this being perverts the nature of good. She is an aberration, and such aberrations are not reborn when they are destroyed. They simply cease to be.
I see. So no special conditions then, just end it.
I hope that when you find her, you will know what to do. It is not in my sight to control the actions of singulars.
And this version is the one that's tied to the Blackwood.
Yes. Freed by Penny's arrogance. Locked away so long ago, in a tower of both mind and body. Kept there, secure. That was the deal. The bargain that was struck with the Darkwood. That the seed of it would be held, silent, and in exchange we maintain peace. And we allow our people to rot and decay. She gestures towards the cities. Once we were a world of progress, development, ambition. We were the heaven to those who sought more and better. But the Darkwood sundered us. Choices were made, deals were struck, and now we pick at what is left of the world, accepting bliss, but seeking nothing.
There was a trial we faced in which Penny fabricated a sort of mind palace for us, and while it was supposed to be created through our imagination, I feel as though part of it was real, and we met face to face, spoke with iterations of her, a warrior, a child, a youth lost in a garden, and the last one that we encountered was dark and cruel and spoke malicious, honeyed words, and the soil and water around her turned black as pitch.
Yes. She did not know of this thing, but her mind must have reached out and touched it, made it real, filtered it through her current form.
And if we can find this corruption and set it right, is there any chance we can get Pentecost back?
What you ask is absurd. A concept such as Pentecost, the one you understand, is unique, much like this Darkwood entity is unique. Bringing her back is not something we can do because she has not gone anywhere. She is an idea, and if it manifests again, that is as the cosmos wills. But I will do what I can to help you. You have to understand that me and my siblings cannot enter this place. The war must be avoided, and for us to set foot would bring an end to all things.
Usha is going to look at Iavos again, his eyebrows sort of like raised up, his lips quivering.
Speak, Wusha.
Iavos, does it work like the meat wagon? If we think about her enough, is she going to show up here? That makes sense.
You've read too many fairy tales.
Wusha is very quickly going to look at Rhea and shut his mouth.
So once again, we are the tools of plurals. You are asking a task of us. What is our payment to kill our own friend?
I ask you no task. I only put forth what you should do. These are your choices, and if you choose not to deal with them, then the consequences are yours to bear. But since this is in many ways your fault, I had hoped that you would feel some sense of responsibility.
Oh, we do have a responsibility, and we want our friend back. We don't want to kill her. Perhaps I'm speaking for all of us, but do we agree, fellow Crown?
Usha emphatically nods his head and stomps his big old foot a couple times.
I don't think that we're being directed to kill Pentecost or Penny. This is something else, and we have to keep that in mind. And while it is a part of her, it's more like cutting away a cancer and letting the body heal on its own than slitting a throat. Although we can get more information when we're face to face. But this creature, it took her place. It was waiting. It's intelligent, and it will lie to us. It will make us think it's her. I believe this in my heart.
Do you quibble when you kill a demon?
No.
If you were to slay an aberration, would you find yourself weeping in the night for its loss?
If it was my comrade.
Breaking his promise, Wusha says, I've cried over things I've had to kill before. It ain't always clean. It ain't always right. Sometimes it leads you to places you never wish to go. If there's another solution we can find, here and now, if we go into that horrible place, I'll be the first one to do it.
A beautiful novelty of your limited existence. You can do whatever you wish, and in fact you must, for it is not mine to decide what will happen, only to divine it. But in order for your optimal outcome to come to fruition, you will need a catalyst. Please. Gestures to the altar. The siblings come to the altar and kneel before it in a circle, leaving space enough for all of you.
Usha will head over, bend the knee on his bad leg, and support himself with his good one.
No stranger to ritual. I will fall into place quietly, watching curiously.
I join them.
Gaspar will reluctantly join.
Echo walks past you and lays down on the altar. Rhea lifts her arms, and as she does, a ray of moonlight shines down from the sky, encircling the altar and all of you. It feels as though a blanket of lead has been placed on your shoulders. You could stand, you could move, but the comfort of that pressure keeps you in your place. Echo's nervous smile begins to falter as her eyes flutter and shut. I cast word without rhyme or timbre. In the name of Calliope ne Thilikos, and Zeal ne Arsenikos, bring forth my sister. I offer word. She gestures to each of you. Speak of her.
Hal steps forward. Penny was my friend, my comrade in arms, a teammate. She supported us, set us up, and we did the same. When we ascended to hero, we fought a creature, a strange reflection of a creature she had seen before, Something she said was like the dark wood. I was willing then to give my life, that she could lend the final blow, to lend her my strength as she had lent me hers so many times. And I'm willing to do it again.
From the very first moment that I saw Penny, I knew I would hate her. Then there was the second and third moment as we made our way through the tests of the LUQ. She did something that I had never seen plurals do. Appreciate the novelty of what we singulars do. I think that is why I fell in love. At least a little. How could you not grow attached to someone growing before your eyes? Like a childhood friend. In the moments leading up to her transition into Pentecost, the ritual meant to save her life, her being. When given the choice, I thought we had decided on the same thing. I told her to trust in what she believed and just remember who you are. I thought she would turn away from plurality. I thought she had finally understood. And she betrayed me. She chose what I did not want, but she chose what was correct for her. And so, all the love I had for Penny is inherited by Pentecost.
I ain't never had a lot of stability in my life. Moved from ship to ship, crew to crew, task to task, like the winds were carrying me about. I knew that I would stand through still and storm with the lot of you, long as you would add me. But for a while you were just another crew, another group of people, temporary in my life. And I was okay with that, come to terms with it even. But old Pen shook that up. She came to me when I thought it was my time to leave. She came to me when I thought my sails had died down and my time here was over. She told me something I ain't never forgotten, and until now never knew how to repay her. She said to me I were her best friend, and that dropped an anchor so hard, I thought I'd stay in that spot forever. But that was stolen away from me, and I ain't gonna drift again. I ain't gonna lose the chance to tell her how I think and I feel. I ain't gonna sacrifice the idea that she means the same to me as well. I never been good at showing that, but I won't be robbed this opportunity.
After she had a dream, no, a nightmare, she used to come and sleep in my room for comfort. She came to me to put her mind at ease. And I would sing her the lullabies that my mother taught me, and she said they were silly and they didn't rhyme right, and they were too short. But she fell asleep all the same, stole my blankets and kicked me with her hooves. Shoulder to shoulder, drenched in blood and warfare in this game we play, she was the one that smiled. She was the one that had a positive outlook and saw the silver in every cloud, despite everything. And it was a blade that buried into her, that set her on a new path, but it was exerting free will that killed the Penny we knew, that tore her away from what she was. How cruel a thing, to be punished for following your heart. But I wanted to know more and watch her grow, and I will do anything to continue that study. Be it Penny, Pentecost, or whatever form comes after. Family gives me strength, and she is mine forever.
I offer blood. Each sibling, save Echo, cuts their wrist and bleeds on the altar. And I offer a vessel of flesh. Rhea of the Moon raises a dagger of pearl, and with each line she drives it into Echo's heart. Arise, Kara, child of Thilicos and Arsenicos. Arise, Kara, daughter of brother and sister wed. Arise, Kara, begotten of the dark wood.
What the fuck?
Dirk, language.
What the fuck?
It would seem Penelope Fun.
Are you telling me that Penny Goodest Girl Farthing is some incest baby grown in a nightmare womb?
Succinct and horribly inaccurate, as usual.
What the
Dirk, the higher echelons of sentient life do not abide by the physical, social, and ethical taboos of the lower. To suggest that Penny's parentage is suspect because of a conceptual siblinghood is both incorrect and ignorant.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm just some simple country bumpkin from a private demiplane where my dad was both vegetable enforcer and pseudo-quarterway demigod. I don't know anything about awkward family dynamics. Wait, no, I totally know what's going on. This is bullshit. It's one thing for Snurge, the fart god of Feta Q90, to dick down his mom, who's also a horse, because it's the only way to kill their cosmic mega daddy, who also happens to be a robot. It's totally something else for a League member to drop a heaping plate of broccoli with shit gravy onto the League's lap.
Dirk?
Rusty, character drama's one thing, but this is something else. This is too much.
I'm surprised you feel so strongly about the integrity of the LUQ.
The LUQ. Rusty, this is why those bastards attacked the press conference. People died because of her, and not some DPS tank gutted in a throwdown against an acid weasel. You can't just drag their chunks back to an altar to Snurge to huff cosmic farts and pop back for round 2. They're gone, souls and all, shredded. Rusty, I almost died. Waked out of existence because of some family feud. Let's just go to commercial.
We're about to witness a planar phenomenon, a keyhole between worlds that only marketing can penetrate. Join me as we glimpse into the Adverse.
Hungry after a long quest? No time to cook? Pop into Mutton King, hasty food for heroes on the go. For just 2 gold and 99 copper, you can try our new Mutton Rye Monster Burger. 2 slabs of gray, gristly hot mutton smothered with beet puree and blue cheese between 2 slabs of hardtack with salted pickled potato ribbons and a queen-sized wine. Or our new 12-piece mutton nuggets. Chewy bread and tomed mutton chunks boiled in oil and served scalding hot with your choice of dipping sauce, almond vinegar, creamy red wine sauce, or salted honey. Tired of mutton? As if. But if you are, try the new salted cod burger on a bed of garden weeds in hearth-cooked unleavened bread. Don't be sheepish, try our new ride-through window for even faster service. Mutton fills you up like Mutton King.
Hail, you cuties! Luck be a mid-roll tonight. In case you missed the follow-up, the Goblin Up event at Wayfinder me and Zach DM'd at was a huge success and a ton of fun. Not only is the second one scheduled for February 27th, but me and Zach are both signed up to DM again, and tickets are selling fast. You can find ticket sales at wayfinder.beer or follow the link at theluq.com. While you're there, you can also find links to me and Zach's DM hiring pages if you want to commission either of us to run a game for you and your friends. This chapter finale is totally wild, so we hope you're ready for what's to come. It came to my attention recently that despite plugging the Patreon all the time and talking about how great the community in the Discord is, I rarely mention how many of the Patreon rewards you can get just on the Discord. The bonus content channel is loaded with cutting room floor bloopers, bonus art, and photos from behind the scenes. And Q&A with the actors and dungeon masters happens all the time. It really is an awesome space. And speaking of the Patreon, our current legendary mid-roll teams are the Titans Rise, the Ceaseless Horde, and this week's featured team, the Twilight Concord, with Maisie, Mike Gordon, Big Boy Roy, and Caitlin Oliver. For personal messages or advertising opportunities, reach out to admin@slap-studios.com. Watch live streams of the new episodes Monday night with Dana at twitch.tv/slap-streams. We're going to attempt to do some more Nuzlocks in February if we can manage. At least we'd like to. Our temporary mailing address while fixing some P.O. Box shenanigans is 2511 Southeast Pine Street, Portland, Oregon 97214, if you have anything you're dying to send to the cast. I'll keep it short and sweet so we can get back to the story, because I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what happens next.
Watch that, leaping from roof to roof.
Did you see that? That thing sliding down the storm drain?
What's that? Scaling the brick wall and running along the fire escape. Could it be?
It's the new Extreme Hex Games competition. Introducing Park Horse. Second story equine acrobatics. Forget the rodeo. These rough riders are climbing sky high and racing through rooftop obstacles, tumbling, vaulting, and climbing sheer walls to become the Park Horse champion. Coming this summer to the Hex Games. Park Horse. Now those are high horses.
Collecting yourselves, you realize that Echo is gone. In her place, covered in blood, is that same Penelope Farthing that first cast a coin into a well, dreaming of a life of adventure.
I wished for adventure, and my whole family is here, and new friends. Who are you?
A large, wet stranger, smelling of an empty tide pool, is going to rush toward Penny and do the best he can to scoop her up in a big hug. Oof! You're back! You're back! You're back! You're back! You're back!
My back! My back! My back! My back! I've never had a hug quite like that before. Already experiencing new things.
Iavos shoots eyes knowingly to Halifon and Gaspar. Oh dear.
And what do you mean you're back? I've been here this whole time. This wasn't what I was a moment ago.
Rhea walks to her sister, places a hand on her shoulder, and the blood drips off of her, leaving her clean. But the ragged hole in the clothing, where Echo's heart was, remains.
Look, the sun's come up. Do you want to play a game, or we could go swimming, or what do you want to do today?
Any game, any race, any swimming, anything you want.
Oh dear. Hello. My name is Iavos. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Penny. Penny Farthing.
I look to my allies again. Then I'll look to Rhea. This is who we're bringing into the Blackwoods, then.
It is a hollow thing getting exactly what you want, isn't it? As hollow as her.
Is everything okay?
It's a complicated question, Penny. My name is Halifon Orson Jr. It's nice to meet you, although, in a way, we've met before.
That's strange. I don't remember you. I love your sword. Do you go on adventures?
I do.
We came here to take you on an adventure.
That's what I've always wanted. When can we leave?
Epiphany climbs atop Apophis' back. As they leave, Zosimos follows. Only Rhea is left of Penny's family.
But you only just got here. Or maybe I only just got here.
They can't come with us on our adventure.
That's too bad.
I offer up my hand for a very formal handshake.
Oh, I've heard of this. I've always wanted to do this. She reaches out and takes your hand.
You can call me Gaspar.
I'm Penny. She does not move her hand at all.
Gaspar is going to slightly increase the grip and then give it one up and down and then let go.
Oh, Can we do that again? That was fun.
In time, my sister. For now, you must ready for battle.
What kind of game is that? I've never heard that before.
It is a bloody one, but one I'm sure you will find yourself quite enamored with. She reaches into a large sack and pulls out a suit of bronze armor, as well as a shield and sword.
Have you heard of full contact bocce ball?
Yes, I really wanted to play it so many years ago, but I didn't pass the tryouts.
It's like that, but no timeouts.
She begins to fit you, placing breastplate, bracers, and each piece on your body.
Glancing down at the breastplate. Oh, we are going to play bocce ball.
She hands you your sword and straps the shields to your arm.
What are these for? These are going to make it difficult.
She takes your hand, moves the blade to your arm, and cuts you.
Ow!
As the blood touches the blade, it tarnishes.
I don't understand what this is.
You will. She begins to walk towards the village.
Can't we just go play, like, touch flower arranging or something?
You wished for an adventure.
And this is what I got, isn't it?
We wished for something too.
And in the Fey realms, you should be careful what you wish for.
That's very true.
Wusha is going to look at Hal, Iavos, Gaspar, and start to dwindle a little bit. And he says, I know I'm not supposed to be understanding things, but right now I can't help but try. This ain't right, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
If it's any comfort, Wusha, I don't think it's wrong either. I think it just is.
All right. That makes sense.
This is how they want us to do things, and this is their world that we're helping. But it does go to show that when they think that we are having our dreams come true, they truly do not understand singulars.
I'm going to walk over to this new penny and look down at her and say, my name's Wusha. Put a hand on her shoulder. You can call me Woosh if you want to.
That's a fun name to say. Woo-sha. It's like the sound the wine lake makes.
Wusha is going to close his eyes tight, sort of bite onto his knuckle and say, yep, yes it is, little one.
Words are shared in the long walk to the Darkwood. Jokes that you've told before, but they get the same ringing laughter they always did. Until you find yourselves in the Flame Weald, where the Darkwood is burned back. There, at the threshold of so unhallowed a place, you face a familiar threat. In all your adventures, the wood has always represented a test of mettle, stretching your skills, ability, and knowledge to the brink. And yet, as you come to the Darkwood, a path opens itself to you.
I'm going to look to this Penelope. Have you been here before?
Never this close. Wow. I'm so excited to go on an adventure with all of you. You all seem so experienced. I'm lucky to be in such capable hands.
You've read a lot of stories, right, Penny?
Oh, yes. There was a time when I went to the library every day to read more adventure stories.
Sometimes in those stories, you know how the hero must confront something difficult, something that's not just a battle. Sometimes a moral decision, or sometimes a crisis of self.
I don't think I understand. What's a crisis of self?
I suppose that wouldn't make it into your people's books. We are going to potentially see and experience some very strange things, but we are here to help you, and we're here to help this world. So no matter how crazy it gets, just know that we're on your side, and we'll do whatever we can to help.
Maybe we should prepare her more, Iavos. I don't want her to be confused to think we were misleading her.
I don't think we have time for any kind of meaningful training. I think what this is, this penny, this perfect, pure incarnation, is exactly what it needs to be for what we have ahead of us.
Her small hand takes yours, Iavos. And you're reminded just how small and precious she was when she first arrived on Zenith. No matter what, I know everything will be okay. You're all what I wished for.
Thanks, little one. You take your first tentative steps on the path the wood has laid out for you. Despite its name, it is not dark at all. The morning light shines through the branches of dead trees and glimmers on pools of swamp water. But as the road nears the heart of darkness, these naked black branches give way to a canopy of sickly yellow, which soon yields to gold. Ahead can be seen a clearing in the swamp, whose dark ponds glimmer with golden light. A forsaken drum tower looms forgotten and desolate at the far edge of the clearing. From its side, a colossal oak has grown, black of wood and gold of leaf. At its base, crucified, is a barely living goddess. A giant figure bound to the colossal tree. This once radiant goddess looks feverish, gagged by a strip of rotten leaves. Her pale eyes, cloudy and lusterless, flit about in a haze. Her dark skin appears ashy in the pale light. Her cascading braids of blossoming ivy and gown of moss, lichen, and wildflowers gradually wilt as errant blooms tumble and fall to the ground below. Spiked chains of cold iron like briars keep her bound, drawing thin rivulets of blood which trickle down her legs before being absorbed into the tree's coal-black bark. Her arms are outspread, each hand affixed to the trunk by a cruel spike. And knelt before her, a figure rises. At first your mind cannot grasp what you are seeing, as a pale face turns to you, curtained by ebon hair, lank from morning fog, until his voice rings out across the clearing. Penny Farthing, silly girl, the only one in all the worlds. She came upon a mortal boy, and blessed his heart with light and joy. She kissed his cheek to mend his frown, and gave to him a flower crown. But in her heart the darkness rose, till flowers sprang from mouth and nose. The boy would scream, at least he tried, as roses bloomed behind his eyes. She laughed and laughed in mortal pain, until he swore upon her name. And then he rose a night of dark, a paladin of wood and bark. And though his queen was sealed away, her power grew each passing day. But how to guide her little boy? A ring of black to show her joy. Ophidian Ashpool lifts his hands to show the black rings climbing his wrists to the elbows. He wears no armor nor garish clothing, only a stained and dirty white shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and a pair of tattered black trousers. At his hip, his short sword and whip. And from his eyes, black tears well and fall, streaking his face. No! What? Shit, yeah. Let's fucking get it, team.
What? What a twist! What?
I couldn't stop it. I tried to help when I could. I did everything I could. Help? You've been nothing but a huge thorn in my ass the whole time I've seen you, and now ain't any different. Get the fuck out of my way. I tried to keep you on track. I tried to keep you focused. Stay in the league. Pay attention to the league. Do your job, and only do your job. But you just wouldn't listen.
Cut her down, Ophidian.
I can't.
After a moment of silence, you hear a hollow thud. A shield and sword hitting the foliage at your feet. Mama?
She doesn't respond.
If you won't cut her down, then move aside so that we may.
Please, just go. Just turn around and go. You don't have to be here. She can't hurt you if you leave. There ain't nowhere else I'm meant to be, Ophidian. She's done with me, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. She has a new champion. I just don't know who it is. But I'll be dead soon, and I won't be able to help you anymore. I can't protect you. Just leave. All I ask is that you leave.
Wusha's right, Eshpool. You've been a thorn in our side since the beginning. You tried to kill Penny in the market with that smite, and I'm not going to let you stop us this time. Get out of the way. And I draw my halberd and charge him.
Roll for initiative. To begin,
with a 24, we have Ashpool.
Excellent. Hal, do you want to be on him when you start, or do you want to be with them?
I don't think there's any reason for me not to be right there.
I'm assuming 1 square away, so your halberd has most effectiveness?
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, he has a whip, so he's got reach too, but...
Sure. Reach, fight.
The Swiss offense.
You can see that his blade and whip are already crackling with magical energy. He anticipated your coming and prepared accordingly. He is going to make a whip attack against Halifon. That is a 22.
22 hits me.
Okay. You'll be taking 2d4 slashing, which totals to 6.
Okay.
And 2d4 poison, which totals 5.
Okay.
You'll also take an additional 4 from his charisma.
Okay.
I'd also like you to make a strength saving throw to resist the trip.
Got it. 19.
Excellent. The whip wraps around your leg, and as it does, it cuts into the clothes and flesh wherever it's exposed. The searing agony of it is exceeded only by the sickening sense of illness that spreads through you. As the whip lands, he steps forward and then swings at you again with his short sword. 18?
Hits.
Okay.
My health is high. My AC is not.
That is going to be 13 piercing.
Okay.
And another 9 poison. As the whip finds home, he uses the momentum of it to pull himself forward, steps in, and slashes at you with his short sword. Both wounds leaving bloody gashes in your limited armor. I told you to run.
I did, just not the direction you want me to.
Woo-hoo-hoo. I like that.
Next in the initiative, we have Gaspar.
Gaspar follows the command of Ophidian and starts running, drawing his crossbow from his hip towards the dark wood, not the golden tree. Power slides behind a tree to attempt to hide. All right, that is a natural 20 for 33 to hide from Ophidian.
Hot dangus. His passive is not strong enough to overcome that.
All right. And who could expect a piece of wood to be flying from dark forest? It's just one of the many hazards that exist here.
Yeah, it just happens.
I don't know who to blame. But that is a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
10, 22. That is 39 points of damage.
Fucking Lord.
They were all 4s, 6s, and 7s.
There was a lot of resentment in that crossbow bolt.
Hey, it's a dark wood. There's a lot of negative feelings.
Fair enough.
These branches are really sharp.
Next in the initiative is Iavos. Iavos takes a step forward, calling out to Ashpool. Ophidian, you know what choice we have to make here. It's the very kind you forged us into making.
Of course, even in this, you're stubborn.
Placing my hand to my necklace, I whisper under my breath a word that has not left my lips in far too long. Bless.
I can feel it.
And I bless all members of the Fallow Crown. And with my bonus action, I turn to the shiny new penny, and I say, when the time calls for battle, remember, all tools can be made weapons. And I pull the plowshare off my back, and using just a little bit of glory to have the action economy, I cast Spiritual Weapon on the plowshare and send it out towards the bound Calliope.
Nice.
It gets halfway there.
I like it.
And next, after Iavos, is the Wusha.
Wusha will narrow his eyes toward Ophidian. I see right through you, Fidgeon. I can see every ache and pain in your body. And with that, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Nice.
Then I'm going to run along the path to within 20 feet of him. And as the ghostly chains appear on the back of my magic spear, I'm going to throw it at him twice.
Hey, love it.
The first one is a 21 versus his AC.
Very nice.
Fantastic. I am going to use my Piercer ability to reroll one of these piercing damage die.
Okay.
Better. 23 damage with the first one.
Y'all are too spicy.
I cast Blast. I don't know what you're talking about.
There we go. And 19 versus his AC with the second.
I like it. That's definitely going to hit.
Fantastic. 18 damage on the second.
Beautiful.
Sending my spear out to harry him over and over again. I tug it back on the chains and try to fill Ophidian with as many holes as possible.
I love it.
Next on the initiative is Penny.
Are you being waterboarded with?
As you think that, you notice Penny is doffing her breastplate. It falls heavy on the ground. I can't even cast spells in that thing. It's so heavy. You're all so cool. You have these things to say after everything you do. Is that what it means to be a hero?
Now ain't no time for a panic attack.
See, like that. She watches this battle go down between Halifon and Ophidian. Her eyes sparkle as she watches the thread that guides Halifon's actions, weaves it into the story of this world, creates a narrative. A king who wears a crown of gold, his fate is dark, his heart untold. Halifon. As she speaks the words, you gain bardic inspiration, and the light cast from your glowing tattoos spreads to encompass you and Ophidian. This is a fairy fire.
Ooh.
Classic Penny move.
So Ophidian's going to have to make a dexterity saving throw, and Halifon, that bardic inspiration is a D8. I am not a Valor Bard, so you can't add it to damage.
What is the DC on that?
The DC is 16.
He fails and begins to glow with Halifon's story.
Next in the initiative is Hal himself.
Oh, very good. All right. Well, I guess I've got him where I want him. As Hal's tattoos glint in the light of Penny's fairy fire, he says, "Oh, I think we can do a little better than that." Rages, and they burst into a brilliant glow. And in that flare, as Ophidian shields his eyes, Hal makes 2 lightning quick attacks.
I love it.
With advantage for fairy fire. First strike is a 23.
That'll do it.
Okay, it's 17, but I have bless, so let me find out.
Actually, that's going to be enough regardless of what you roll on that blessed die, so go ahead and do your damage.
That's good, because I rolled a 1, so...
We have 0 down on his armor class.
Yes, very good. All right, that's going to be 2d10 plus 12.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
God damn.
Well, it's plus 6 2 times. Nice. Unfortunately, I can't re-roll the 3, because it's 1 shy of the number, but the other one's a 10. So 13 plus 12 is 25 points of damage to Ashpool.
Woo!
And I have them to burn. I'm going to burn a first level spell slot to deal an additional 11 points of radiant damage, which is an Aasimar I think he'll have.
You'd be correct.
But he still takes an extra 5. So 30.
Hell yeah.
Eat it, Ashpool.
He drops to one knee. He is no more than he was when you last faced him. And against 5 enemies, he simply doesn't have the strength. Please, Hal, you want to protect them. I know you want to protect them. The only way you can do that is by getting them out of here. The champion is coming. I know it. I can feel it.
I'm afraid you're mistaken, Ashpool. The champion's already here. And I take my halberd and I drive it through his chest into the ground behind him.
Ophidian Ashpool, captain of the battle standard and apparent servant to the force which launched the attack on the Fallow Crown's press conference, is dead.
God damn it!
Alifon Orison Jr. is in violation of the LUQ PvP charter. Unsanctioned violence against a player and a killing blow against a downed opponent.
Ophidian Ashpool was a part of the League. I don't care if he was sucking rancid milk from some dark tree tit. He did his job and he did it well. Every team he touched was better for it, whether they admit it or not. He was a good captain. He was a good player, even if he wasn't good aligned. What's happening, Rusty? This isn't normal. This isn't right.
I know, Dirk.
What's going to happen to the Fallow Crown?
It would seem an administrative meeting excluding the commissioner has been called to discuss the implications of the Fallow Crown's actions. Betrayal, drama, and violence are to be expected in the League, but this is beyond the pale. Multiple incidents of interplanar crime, violation of Zenithal law, as well as the LUQ Code of Conduct stand in sharp contrast against an all-time high in viewership and massive public support. But for disciplinary action or pardon to be dispensed, our heroes must first survive, and as their adventure in Eudaimonia draws to a close, the future of the Fallow Crown is uncertain.
I'm sorry, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, what?
Hulaphon?
So there's some stuff you didn't tell us, maybe, about what happened back home?
Oh, there's always been stuff I didn't tell you about what happened back home.
Yeah, but it's not like a barbecue you didn't tell us about. You didn't tell us about some bomb-ass German potato salad. I'm talking about I'm packed with evil.
Yeah. Had some ribs. I played a little bocce ball, made out with my cousin. Oh, yeah. And I become one with the darkness. This has been a bocce ball heavy episode. Very.
I mean, it's the bloodiest sport.
Yeah,
The
world's most dangerous game.
No. Yeah, the world's most dangerous game.
I bocce softballed that in.
We can't trust anyone. I'm just going to fireball the whole party.
Yeah. Wusha is never going to forgive you for killing Ophidian because he wanted to.
Oh, gosh. So many things.
Jesus. This is
twists and turns.
Like, the chapter was like a little slow up till now. I was enjoying kicking back and kind of watching it unfold. Family episode. And then this bullshit.
I did intend that fight to go a little longer and be a little more dangerous, but it turns out one level, like 10 Paladin Warlock just can't quite stand up against 5 fucking heroes.
At least he rolled good initiative, so he did get one round before he got obliterated.
I didn't even hit him. I just buffed us.
You forgot, like Iavos in the fucking library, we're hard as fuck. I actually had to give him 5 extra HP in the odd hope that I was like, maybe he'll take this out. And it's like, nope, immediately more damage.
Was my decision to smite what finished him off?
Yeah. More specifically, the fact that you remembered that we remembered you were blessed. You being blessed is what did it. If you had missed that one attack.
That's fair.
So the bless does matter.
The dice, yeah.
Yes, it does.
It always matters.
It has always mattered.
I was about to ask him to help us, but now
no.
Let's go around and hear some favorite moments.
Ooh.
Mine, well, I'll let other people go first.
Ahead. No, I shouldn't always go first.
All right. Mine was Ophidian being the little boy that Dana Flower murdered. Or not Dana. That Dana.
Well, I mean, in a very literal way, it was Dana, but I agree. I had no idea that was coming.
Yeah,
I've been planning that since you read that first fucking message.
Fucking awesome.
I don't know if it's going to get cut or not, but I just screamed several times.
Yeah.
I am not kidding. The moment you read that poetry, I was like, well, I know what I'm going to do with that.
Yeah. I know Zach has said, I think a couple times in the outro and more than once to us in other conversations, this chapter represents the culmination of some seeds that he's been sowing since episode 1. I did not see the Ophidian Penny history backstory at all.
Yeah.
So that twist gets my favorite moment for me.
I feel like the only time it's come up where you can connect the dots, which is what I'm not saying I read this perfectly because this was a big curveball. But there was a time when I think Ophidian either got KO'd or someone was doing like a coup de grace, and there was a vision of flowers blooming from the wound.
Yep.
Oh,
it was literally during Yavos' chapter. I foreshadowed this one chapter ago.
Yeah. I do remember when he crit and when he hit Penny and he smote. I remember being like, you can't smite fey creatures. They don't get bonus damage. And you being like, Ophidian specifically gets bonus damage against fey creatures.
Exactly.
It's part of his oath. And I'm like, well, that fucking makes sense.
It kind of makes you his patron a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Black Mirror.
Any other favorite moments?
Ooh, I mean, I feel like you can feel free to disagree, Dana, but there was a moment where it felt like you were listening to your character's like eulogy.
It was very intense for me.
Yeah, where you had to step away from the mic a little bit.
I had
and
to push
look
my chair
away.
back, and I had to look off into a corner. It was heavy. Those were very nice stories.
Very nice.
Like y'all brought a tear to my eye.
It was a lot of fun to get to be.
I did appreciate.
I always liked emotion.
I did appreciate that it sounds like every member of the party is at least a little bit in love with Penny. Or Pen.
That's what her character does, though,
yeah.
right?
It's like kind of the whole point.
You're supposed to be entranced.
I appreciated that too. I was very taken aback by some of Gaspar's words, and then Law just made me fucking tear up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So yeah, I feel like that had to be a highlight.
I don't think it's a good highlight.
You obviously can't see the emotion in the room, but hopefully you heard it.
Oh, you can see it. If you look at the little progress bar on the podcast app or whatever you're listening to,
that's
you can
true.
see it.
We've hidden a secret message in the wavelengths.
In the emotion. Yeah.
And then
or whatever they're called.
By the end of the episode, that the emotion is very full.
Yeah.
Zachary, I'm gonna have to give you kudos again on a Zachary original Penny poem.
Yeah,
you asked me, I think the start of yesterday, to send you all my poems, and I did, and I didn't know what you were doing, and like that was very cool. I very much enjoyed that.
I just needed to make sure the meter was right because I couldn't remember 100% and I didn't want to come through the episodes.
And he disarmed you with the other poem because it's like, oh, that's what he was doing with all my poems, writing his own, like in your style.
I want both of those written down. I want them. And then my real favorite moment in this game, I really, really enjoyed playing this version of Penny, and your collective reaction to it was fantastic. It's everything I hoped it would be.
Fantastic.
I feel like, that was the kind of what you get for when you wish with the Fae moment that actually had meaning. It wasn't just like a gotcha DM kind of thing. It was like everybody and their characters going, oh no. It was good.
Setting ourselves up for heartbreak all over again.
My favorite moment was having Dana play any kind of Penny again. My favorite moment, hands down. Look, I'm going to level with all of you. I feel like I am at the farmer's market of your guys' games, right? You planted the seeds, you sowed the narrative, and I'm just here fucking eating up your garlic and not really thinking about the steps that happened beforehand. But
not many steps.
No, so many steps.
For garlic?
All right, fair.
All right.
Whatever. But this is the first episode that's got like that deep, like trembling lower lip reaction from me. That oh boy, there was some real shit that happened at the fucking table today and in the closet. But getting to see Dana back in your fucking element, back in your goddamn Penny shit felt so good, and
It's been a while.
It's been too long, and I'm so happy that I was here for it.
Yeah, small moment. I also got a call out when I just kind of ad-libbed that Penny reached for Ios's hand and took it. And I mostly wanted to emphasize how small she was now. And his gasp, like that gasp you threw in there, Law, like breaks my heart.
I love that he does like Foley for like breaths and stuff like that. Even like the first episode of this chapter when I was like talking about him waking up and he gave that deep breath. It was perfect.
Also, audience, I know my little squeals are awful. The cast insisted we not redo them.
They're fantastic.
No, the Wusha pick you up hug accident squeak was it sounded good. So cute. I can't. I'm done and I won't and I can't. No. Too much heartbreak. Just talking to actual Penny again sucks ass.
Yeah.
Seeing Ophidian come to the fruition of his cursed path sucks ass.
Yeah.
Seeing Penny's mom crucified as a dark effigy in this horrible place sucks ass.
So good.
And it's all very good. It's a good story that sucks ass.
Halfon
As a good
becoming-
story should. It hurts me in my heart's ass.
Everyone put their whole ass into this fucking episode. It was great.
I want to hear. Oh, I want you to hear these last two lines from the first Penny poem that happened in this episode or this chapter. So bring my friends to journey's end and watch them fall from grace. For in the dark wood, merest spark would set it all ablaze. I tried to foreshadow this one for you guys.
Oh, I heard it.
That's a whole 5 shadow, dog. You're moving up in category.
Also, I was really proud of in the dark wood, merest spark would set it all ablaze.
Yeah.
I was very pleased by that rhyme, and I'm like, yeah Zach!
Way to get those layered MF Doom bars in there, my dude.
You knew the fairy fire was there.
Right? Honestly, yeah, my favorite moment has to be Ashpool just because, oh man, I've been waiting, dog.
I screamed.
The setup for that was very good, and I would say for us, it definitely paid off.
Yeah.
If for you, the listener who's still listening to this outro, it paid off, give us a shout out on Twitter or whatever other social media. If you're in the Discord, let us know. There's a spoilers channel in Discord for this reason, honestly. Boy, the spoilers channel.
Hashtag gasp pool.
Yeah. the spoilers channel after this episode is going to fucking explode.
Well, that sounds like slash fiction for Gaspar Ashpool.
It does. I was going to say hashtag pool boy.
Pool boy.
Poor boy.
Hashtag pool boy.
This has been one full meat card of a chapter.
Dude, it really has. I wanted it here, and here it came.
Every time you think you're full, there's just another tantalizing pork belly just waiting.
And it isn't over.
Yeah, we have another episode still.
And until the conclusion of this dark chapter, we wish you luck.
I am back. Yeah, I was about to comment. It sounded like the timing on the outro is just not quite right on the end there, so we might have to fix that and re-upload. But that is not even the end of this chapter. And I know y'all liked it, but I hope y'all did. And yeah, that's like, oh man, even revisiting it is just such an emotional hit. Like, it's such a, like, the palpable just like emotions in that episode of like Penny's back, but not not how we wanted, and it's very bittersweet and it's very thick. Yeah. Hot dingus indeed. But yeah, and it was definitely fun for me to re-listen, just because like I was concentrating really hard on what I needed to be doing in preparing to play this Penny, that like often when I talk about my favorite moments like in the show, usually I end up listing the things that surprised me, and that's true here as well. But like upon re-listen, just like Wuxia's whole speech was so touching and like so filled with nautical metaphors and like the dropping anchor and stuff. It just, I don't know, on re-listen, like Wuxia's is what hit me. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna send y'all off without, a little bit of aftercare. That's why I'm here, even though I'm a little destroyed. Yeah, the hand holding was, not planned, but it ended up being like a great little moment. Just like a lot of good little moments. Yeah, no, Max is consistently amazing. He's one of my favorite people to work with in this industry. And I actually didn't realize until Bree said it in the chat that she started drawing this before knowing about this storyline. That's kind of crazy. You know how some of these plurals be, they just, the idea of them just kind of spreads without you having to hear about it, I guess. But yeah, Bree obviously drew that. I showcased that 2 weeks ago because it's very good for the chapter. And I can't remember who was asking about Penny's eye color, but Penny and Pen both have gold eyes. Pen's, however, when she uses Arsenicos's magic, her pupils flash green, and then conversely, Penny Dreadful, who this is the same description I gave in the Penny Dungeon episode, but her eyes are kind of a sickly yellow green. Like they're still yellow, but they're like a sickly yellow, not like a bright orange gold. They're a slightly greenish yellow. Yeah, I agree with everything y'all are saying. But yeah. If y'all have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But also, if you just want to talk about the episode, I'm happy to do that. Obviously, I can't say anything that would spoil the next episode. But, so, I didn't necessarily have to revisit any episodes because I have a master document with all of Penny's poems. I take that back. I did re-listen specifically to that end scene with the very first glimpse of the, what became the Penny Dreadful character. I kind of revisited that a lot. I didn't do a ton of other stuff. But I know Hal did, or rather, Michael did. Michael re-listened to tons and tons of stuff in preparation for this. And I will actually be right back. If you will excuse me for just like 5 minutes. I am back. Sorry about that. You ever get so engrossed in your own content you forget to pee? Whew. Yeah, I know. Not very, very unprofessional, but I'm like, God, I want to talk more. I don't want to call this early. But fuck, I have to piss. Right? Biological is... Oh, it's the worst kind of people to be. But yeah, so... The parentage stuff I can talk about because it was revealed here. And it's never... Like, it's not the most explicit thing in her background, but Penny is not her own mother. Penny's mother is Calliope, and it is revealed in this episode in what Rhea is saying when she's kind of like turning Echo into Penny through that ritual. If you listen to the names and stuff that she calls out, the full context hasn't been explained yet. But Penny, her true name is Kara, and she is the offspring of Calliope. I can't remember her true name, and her brother Arsenikos. So that's kind of the twist in her parentage. Is the forgotten god Arsenikos is also Calliope's brother and Penelope's father. Penny is mother to someone, you're saying? Audio is funky. Okay, what's funky about the audio? Seems good? Okay. Well, that's very strange. I just double-checked that I didn't accidentally have a filter on it. It looks good on my end. So I apologize. So yeah, like I remember a long time ago, like very early in the show, like Zach and I had a conversation about her parentage, and I didn't know back then that Arsenikos existed. You know, I barely knew about Zillos. Like, I didn't know about this particular twist. But Zach basically said, like, hey, are you comfortable if we kind of, like, get kind of weird with it and do, like, something that's maybe incestuous? And I was like, yeah, I mean, they're fucking Greek gods. Like, it'd be... Like, honestly, that makes sense to me, just, like, mythologically. So I was like, go for it. And so this is... Yeah, it all kind of does the thing. A little more does get explained, but that's the crux of it, and it's not meant to be like a huge thing, but it was basically revealed in this episode. Okay, Yeah, I don't think that part actually does get explained quite yet. I never thought to explain Papa. Zach, if you'd like to elaborate on that, feel free. It's not like it's a big secret. We also haven't explicitly said it, but I think mostly because we forgot. Or I forgot. Okay. I couldn't remember. So much happens. Like, we recorded this months ago, gang. We've been sitting on this for so long, and I'm just very happy that it finally aired. But it's been long enough, I don't remember everything in it. But yeah, Penny doesn't have any children unless you count Pentecost, unless you count Ophidian, but neither of them are children to her per se. We've been sitting on about a 2-month buffer, and so right now I think we have like 5 more episodes, but we're about to record again. Yeah, it's been pretty chill actually. That's like the most consistently ahead of it that we've been, I think, since we started. But we've had a very chill kind of 1 to 2 month buffer over the last several months. Oh, I have very strong emotions, very strong. But yeah, yeah, it's kind of funny. Penny, due to the nature of the character, has never had like a linear backstory, but she does have a number of backstory poems, and I haven't written everything exhaustively just because it's not worth really writing some of the stuff that's not important to air. But the crux of it was like 3 background poems, and you've heard 2 of them, which was Penny in the Shadow and Penny and the Boy. There is one other that I don't think is important. I don't think will ever be heard, but maybe someday in bonus content. Thank you, Hungry Wire. It was kind of an unexpected twist a little bit. Michael, I don't believe, has any poems. At one point he was thinking of writing one, but it wasn't... Yeah, I don't want to speak for Michael. I know he was conceptualizing one that was less of a poem and more of a saga, but it's also like so complicated that I don't expect he will ever plan to finish it. But no, I think mostly Law and I and now Zach are the are the ones that really do the poems and songs and things for the characters. That's a great question, Q-Force. I think I'm the most likely to write a rap at the table, because that just sounds like fun. But no, that would be great. But I don't believe he will do that. Yeah, I don't know how Law and Zach do everything that they do for this show, like on a weekly basis. Like, it's a lot. Has talked about booking one of the boys. They are both excellent. I was at Goblin Up with someone else. I got to see how happy all the players were when they went home. Like everyone killed it, but both Law and Zach were beaming afterwards. I think things went really well. I've said on a couple of occasions, I ran a bachelor party game once, but I have a feeling it was quite a bit different than the one that Zach will be running. But if it's not Zach, let me know, and I have some like boots and corsets and masks and things for you. But I have a feeling yours won't be quite like mine was. Definitely not horny. Yeah. A fawn-themed stag party would be very, very fun. For the record, that was a much younger Dana that had more stamina and did things like wear crop tops. I would not have the energy in me today. Yeah, no, if anyone wanted to do like that kind of themed stag party, that'd be very hard to say no to. That's very, very tempting. Yeah, right? No, it was so long. It was a world ago. It was a world ago. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I often talk about it, often when Andy Tar is around because it was his bachelor party, and then often when I get a couple drinks in me. So y'all got to be careful anytime you come out drinking with us, because apparently you put enough drinks in us and like spoilers just fall out. That's a while ago now. Cause yeah, I think that was right after. I think that was right after Rose City, and we're hanging out with some of the cuties at Retro Game Bar after the convention, and we got pretty drunk. But yeah, I think that's when we were in kind of the early stages of planning for this chapter, and I think they overheard like some talk about Penny Dreadful, and maybe even like some stuff about season 3, but shh. And then yeah, just be careful. Just definitely come and hang out with us. We love hanging out with people, but yeah, be careful. We're terrible people. That makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes sense, bro, Seth. No, that sounds amazing, Hungry Wire. Oh yeah. Yeah, so all the pennies, well, wait, I'm sorry, which pennies are you talking about in the trial? I mean, there's kind of a okay, danger room pennies I can answer. Yeah, there's kind of an unlimited number of pennies. Like asking the number of iterations of a plural is kind of a wrongly worded question. But yeah, so in thank you, Wolf. That is absolutely right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's also Teenage Penny. So going through them, Young Penny, there's like the kind of like single digits little girl Penny that needed help making her garden. There's Baby Penny who's held by kind of the Teenage Penny, and that's also kind of like nighttime Penny. It's kind of a particular aesthetic. Mama Penny had the 2 deer, Soldier Penny, and then Penny Dreadful. And actually, originally there were 2 or 3 more pennies that I wrote rooms for, but I realized it was too many rooms to run in a single episode, and I cut them. Like originally there was like a kind of a sort of an underground like bioluminescent like cave mushroom penny that was very fun. I can't even remember the other ones, but I remember that one. Just like a very like almost Gollum penny, but like still cute. Yeah, Soldier, like, Soldier Penny was fun. I definitely, like, I wrote Soldier Penny before even, like, conceiving of Pentecost. So I'm glad I got to play a similar character now that I think about it, because she was very fun to play in that episode. Ooh, keep an eye on the art tab, Luce says. That's very exciting. Love hearing that. Yeah, there's also that. See, that's why I was confused a little bit, making sure you were asking about those pennies, because there's also, I think, 2 other areas. One of them is in the Wild Heart, and one of them was more recently, where Zach just describes like a myriad of kind of background pennies that you don't really like meet or see, but are you know, in the backdrop of the show. And a lot of those are very fun, but I also don't remember the vast majority of those. There have been a lot of coin jokes. I have not seen that one specifically, and that's not bad. Yeah, that's definitely, well, for the quarter joke, you get my sigh. Have run with the fallow crown. I mean, if you count this one would be the third, because it was just original Penny and then Pentecost. Pentecost was well, obviously what happened, and then now there's this Penny. Whether you count that as the original Penny or not, I guess it's 3. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. That'll be an interesting question at the end of the show. Thank you for coming, Kuforce. It was really nice having you. Love chatting with you, and yeah, have a good night. Yeah, so that's a great question. So, I was prepared to just run, like, you know, level 1, level 2 Penny, but she would have been, like, pretty worthless, and she would have been squished pretty good. Zach just said to make her the same level as the Fallow Crowns, so she's like, what are they, 8th or 9th level? I've lost track, honestly. So what I did for her is I tried to keep her as close to the original as possible. So I believe she's a level 2 Archfey Warlock, and then the rest is in Bard. But she doesn't have Zillos, and she never went through all the things that original Penny did, so I couldn't make her a Valor Bard. So I made her a Lore Bard, because it wasn't worth getting like too custom with it. So she's just a little different. But she's the same level as the rest of the crown, which is why she has like a D8 Bardic Inspiration. Yeah, so I think she does have some more luck, because otherwise I think that might be higher. It's hard for me to remember. Oh, there's so many little details in this fucking season to like go back and see foreshadowing in. Like there's just like so much stuff. Cause I only really know the Penny stuff, and so much of it is foreshadowed. And I'm starting to learn more about like some of the other stuff that's been in the planning, like this, and it's just wild. I think it's great. I'm definitely looking forward to going back and re-listening to it someday. Yeah, like pretty much since the show began, like Zach would have these moments where he'd just be like, "You have no idea what's, you know, the things that I've been working on, and I can't tell you, and it pains me." But I'm glad that we got to be surprised, because it was an amazing moment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've said a couple of times since we recorded it that if this was like a show, um like I fully think that that in the show of the Fallow Crown, this chapter would be like the season 2 finale. Like I seriously, I think that. I think yeah. I think each season would probably be like a 3 seasons of show, and I think this would be right there. But that is my feeling. I've also been, rewatching Vox Machina, so I can't help but think about, what our show would be like if we had $11 million. Yeah, and some of the Penny lore specifically is very convoluted and confusing because plurals are very convoluted and confusing. It would be a good show. I think people would be just about ready for it too. Because like the one of the things about kind of going back to early Critical Role to Vox Machina is like it's still very like it's excellent. I enjoy it, but the characters are very like tropey for the character types and things like that. Like it's very kind of standard, and the twist for them really being some of the cursing and the flavor really creating a juxtaposition with the classic fantasy aesthetic. But I think that the next step is something more like this, where it's the world is a little more original, the stuff is a little more kind of embedded, but I don't know. I'm just rambling. Don't listen to me. No, I've said, I think I've said a couple of times that Zach and Law really just need the the business manager from or the original business manager from Penny Arcade, because yeah, they just need one genius person to just let them be creative and turn it into money. Because that's a full-time job, like, for sure. And yeah, right? You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever read their story, like both of them were just kind of like bungus at business. In fact, they accidentally gave away like their whole IP, and then then their business manager, well, the guy who became their business manager came along and said, hey, just basically like, let me just like turn you into a success. And they would just occasionally say things like, hey, it'd be kind of cool to have a convention. And he's like, okay, let's make it happen. And PAX happened, or or one of them's like, what's cool? Disney pins. And then they come up with like Penny Arcade, and it's just like wild how good that guy was at that. Like it baffles me just how he just like turned this shit into money. Like, it's a great story. If you ever get a chance to just go and read like their whole thing and how it happened, it's wild. I'll now that I've said it, I'll see if I can find like a good article on it, and I'll share it in the Discord. But it's legit, like super interesting. That would be fun too. We almost certainly have a few enforcers in the cuties. Yeah, that's true too. They're not that far. But yeah. Well, at this point, I've been rambling. If nobody has any other questions about the episode, I think I'm going to call it and maybe sneeze. Nope. Not gonna. Nope. Oh, it was stronger than me. It was stronger than me. Whew. I was gonna say my dinner's waiting. Ooh. That sounds terrifying, Wolf. But yeah, thank you all so much for the really great turnout. It's a big episode, and like you coming and listening to it, we had a huge number today. It means a lot to the cast. I know it means a lot to Zach, who spent a lot of time agonizing over this. So thank you all so much. We couldn't do this without you, and we enjoy doing it so much. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and until next time, we wish you luck.